Okay, welcome to class today, guys. Thank you for hopefully watching the circle time. Today is Monday, March 23rd. Okay, so today we're learning about polar bears. So some stuff about polar bears is they live in the Arctic. So we kind of talked a little bit. The Arctic is at the top of the world, okay? So that's like where Santa Claus lives, North Pole. Okay, so polar bears, they have black skin, okay? The black skin absorbs the sun to help keep them warm, okay? So their fur looks white, but it's actually clear, guys. So that's pretty cool. They also have blubber, okay? The polar bears, their favorite thing to eat is seals. Okay, so seals have lots of fat too. So all that fat on the polar bear and on the seals helps to keep them warm so that they can stay alive for the whole winter and especially during the rest of the year because it's super cold where polar bears live. Okay, and the other thing we're going to be talking about at this activity today is the Northern Lights. Okay, so there are some pictures of the Northern Lights. Okay, so you can see they can be green, they can be red, they can be purple, orange, they can be lots and lots of different colors. Okay, we're going to be talking about a little bit about what Northern Lights are. Another name for them is Aurora Borealis. Okay, I know that's a really hard word to say, but if you get, let's say it 5 times. Okay, so Aurora Borealis, Aurora Borealis, Aurora Borealis, Aurora Borealis, Aurora Borealis. So that's a really tough word to say. I know that, guys, but it's Northern Lights. So sometimes you can see these, okay, when the sun, okay, has a thing called solar wind. Okay, so we talk about electrons with our song, the element song. So basically electrons hit what's called a magnetic field around the earth, okay, and that causes these Northern Lights that can be lots of different colors. Okay, most of the time you'll see greens or blues up in the sky. So for our activity today, we have a polar bear, okay, we have our white piece of paper, and then we also have some glue and some watercolors. So basically what we're going to do is Mr. Matt's going to start off by gluing on a polar bear. Okay, so I'm going to glue a polar bear onto my white piece of paper, okay, because he lives up there in the Arctic where you see Northern Lights all the time. Okay, so now that we have our polar bear on there, we're going to paint on Aurora Borealis or Northern Lights. So Mr. Matt likes the green, so he's going to dip his paintbrush in water and get some green. Okay, I'm just going to kind of paint different stuff up in the sky. Okay, so I've got green. Okay, another color Mr. Matt thinks will look cool would probably be blue. I think that would look awesome. So we're going to add some blue onto ours for Northern Lights. Okay, well, you can go squiggly, you can go whatever you want, because guess what? Northern Lights, as you can see from the pictures we showed you earlier, they can look lots of different ways. Okay, but now you have your polar bear, okay, with the Northern Lights above it, where it lives and eats seals and has blubber and has black skin that keeps it nice and warm where it lives where it's cold.
Now, Mr. Matt, what if they don't have watercolors at home? What is something else they could use to make Northern Lights?
You could use markers, you could use crayons, you could use lots of different things. If you have different colors, you can make Northern Lights above your polar bear.
Perfect. All right, guys, now we're moving over to Miss Megan, who's going to tell us about our literacy activity today.
Okay, you guys, so for this activity, we're going to be talking about S and A. We have an uppercase and a lowercase s. We're saying that one is for sun, so the S sound. And then A, we're saying is for apple with the A sound. So you guys can see over here, when you're tracing your S's, the uppercase S and the lowercase s are really similar. We're going to trace them again over here. And then your A's, first we have to draw a big triangle and cross over here. And then the lowercase a is a circle and one line right there. So you guys are going to practice this over here. So we can start with the S. So what you're going to do is start by tracing these letters, going really slow. So starting with the uppercase S, and then we're going to do the lowercase s. And then we're going to look for those letters in these down here. So I'll show you guys. Here's one right here. You're going to want to color it in. And then here's another one right here. So this is a lowercase and an uppercase s. So you're going to keep going until you find all of them in that one. Then we're going to do A, so we'll trace A, and our lowercase a, like that, and then we'll look for the A's in this side over here. So here's one right there, and here's one right there.
Perfect. Now we're going to come over here to Miss Aubrey, and she's going to tell us about our science activity today.
Hi friends, so me, Addie, and Bryn are over at the blue table. We are learning about polar bears this week, and we are going to be talking about the polar bear's skin. So Addie has a picture right here, and it shows the polar bear's skin. It has the hair on top and then a layer of their skin, and underneath the skin they have a layer of blubber. And that blubber is what keeps them warm in the super, super cold water where they live. Without the blubber, the water would be too cold for them to swim around in. So what we did is we filled this with our pretend blubber, and this water in this bowl is super, super cold. We couldn't put our hand in it without some blubber. It would be way too cold. So we're gonna pretend that my hand is like a polar bear skin and this is the polar bear blubber. So we're gonna put our hand in the blubber, sticking through. And then when I put my hand in the cold water, I can't even feel anything. My hand is so warm and you can't even feel the cold water. So that is how the blubber works for a polar bear. When they're swimming in the super cold water to get food, they can't feel the cold water, they stay warm the whole time.
And you guys can use Crisco or you can use butter or margarine at home for you to do that. All right, here we go to Mr. Matt for our math activity today.
Guys, last activity of the day is our math activity. So we're going to be working with one-to-one correspondence, so some counting, okay? And the first thing I want you to do if you're one of my big kids, okay, one of my 4 or 5-year-olds, is I want you to practice writing some numbers on some pieces of paper. So right here we have a 2, a 5, and a 10. So if you are super old and you want to really try to see how smart your brain is, I want you to try writing some numbers on some different pieces of paper so you know what you're going to try to count to, okay? The other thing we're going to get is we're going to get some cereal, okay? So Mr. Matt has some Tutti Fruttis right here because Tutti Fruttis are yummy and delicious. So after I finish this activity, then I can maybe eat them, okay? So Mr. Matt's going to take out of his bowl and he's going to start trying to count out some of these pieces of cereal. So I have a 2 here, so Mr. Matt's going to go 1 and 2. Okay, so now Mr. Matt has 2 on his 2 piece of paper. I have a number 5, so let's see if we can do a number 5. All right, let's see. So we're gonna put some on the table so you guys can kind of see what we're doing here, okay? So we have lots of cereal. Okay, so we're gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so now I have 2 on my 2. I have 5 on my 5, and look, am I gonna probably need some more Tutti Fruttis? I sure am. So let's put some more Tutti Fruttis onto the table, okay, so that I can count those out, okay, and I can maybe get to 10 now. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Look, Mr. Matt's gonna try for a pattern. 5, 6. Oh, rainbow. Let's see if I have enough to go around again. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, so you can use your favorite snacks too. If you don't have Tutti Fruttis, don't worry about it. You can use different snacks you like to eat, okay, because then maybe after you're done with this activity, you can have a snack, which would be super yummy and delicious. And if 10 is too easy, because I know lots of you guys are smart out there, maybe try to go up to 20, practicing writing that number and also counting those out, okay? But guys, thank you for coming to preschool today. I hope that you've had an awesome day, and I hope you keep having an awesome day, and we'll see you tomorrow for activities.